All right, we're going to start the midweek wrap-up with main event. Main event was very cut down this week, so given the fact that this is obviously two guys we're not always excited to watch, it's on WWE's B Show main event, and it's for a title that isn't necessarily that prominent in the business right now. These two had a really good match.
Yeah.
For it being a last man standing match on main event between two guys that don't usually do a match like that, especially against each other,
Yeah.
they went all out. Sheamus was just covered in welts by the end of the match. Oh man,
And
like
welts show up good on Sheamus.
I know, you got that pale skin.
It's one thing Sheamus is really good for is
selling them welts and bruises.
But after a very violent match, Sheamus would retain the U.S. title, and I read an article just maybe a day or so after this match, but Sheamus then would say that he's going on to win the IC title, which someone asked him his thoughts on unifying the titles, which has been a discussion, especially since they did the WWE World Heavyweight title. So it should be interesting to see if maybe they're working towards that. Since a lot of people have been making claims of winning both titles.
to create the world. Wait, not
the world title. I think it should just be the Intercontinental title.
The Intercontinental title already has the hardcore title and the European title kind of smushed in there.
Yeah.
So
that's because if you take the European title and you take the U.S. title and you put them together, you have
like an Intercontinental Championship.
Yes.
Whoa.
Holy shit. I think it should just be the Intercontinental title.
I agree, but I think they should put in... I think if they do that, they should also bring in a TV title or like some kind of themed belt.
I'm okay with the themed belt idea. Doesn't necessarily have to be the TV title.
Right.
But bring back the hardcore title. Bring back the Cruiserweight.
Cruiserweight.
Yeah.
I vote Cruiserweight.
But the idea being that there's another prize for another division of wrestlers to go for.
Yeah.
The TV title idea would be it's defended every week, blah, blah, blah.
On SmackDown or Raw.
Yeah.
Every week.
And
that's
I could get behind.
And you don't even have to call it the TV title. Just have
the television title.
Call it the hardcore title that's defended every week. Don't have that.
And non-hardcore rules matches.
Yeah. Don't call it that. Very, very solid match. Should be interesting to see what these two do in the Battleground Battle Royal. We would get the confirmation that Chris Jericho would be facing Bray Wyatt at Battleground, which we're all excited for that match because it's Bray Wyatt and Jericho.
WWE, get your facts right though. This is not the first time they've ever clashed.
Yes, Jericho did go down to NXT prior to the Wyatt family coming up, and he had...
There's pictures of it on the interwebs.
Probably pictures of it somewhere on WWE.com too.
Yeah.
The only other match on main event, which makes sense but came out of freaking nowhere.
Stop this storyline already.
A little bit of sense.
Stephanie would put Nikki Bella in a 6-on-1, which actually ended up being a 5-on-1 handicap match against the rest of the cast of Total Divas. So you would have Nikki Bella versus Naomi, Natalya, Summer Rae, Rosa Mendes, and Eva Marie. Cameron wouldn't come out until the end of the match. They would... Did anyone think Nikki was going to win this match?
It's 5-on-1. Come on.
Seriously.
Come on.
But
She's
I
not
will
John
say,
Cena.
I think Eva Marie had her shining moment when Nikki went for an O'Connor roll. I believe it was on Natalya. Natalya got a blind tag by Eva Marie, and as she squatted down for the pin, Eva Marie actually grabbed her for a DDT, planted her, and pinned her, and won the match.
She did a move.
And I was actually impressed.
She's 1/5 as good as John Cena.
She's on her way.
Here's my issue with the match. I didn't get that it was the Total Divas at first because I don't watch that show. So my first reaction seeing it was, what the fuck is with the faces and heels in the Divas division? Does that not exist? Is that not a thing?
Nope. They're called makeups and stuff.
Well, they did a graphic before the match.
I don't always pay attention when I'm watching TV.
Pay more attention.
Sometimes
They give you the answer. It's like the answers in the back of the book, so they give it to you before they ask.
Hey, you didn't realize Dean Ambrose was going to interrupt Seth Rollins next week.
It's because it didn't happen right before the match.
It was a big
The
deal.
graphic happened right before the match.
We forgot Rey Mysterio was in the Royal Rumble. That happened right before.
They
the
took a
match.
bunch of people out of the Rumble.
That graphic
count at
happened
all.
right before the match, though.
Anyway, Nikki Bella would get slaughtered by the rest of the
Point is,
cast of
though,
Total Divas.
They
Point
cut her
is-
legs and arms
point
off and
is
everything.
face- and heels.
Yeah, Nikki Bella. There's only one. There's no longer Bella Twins. There's just Brie Bella, and she doesn't work for WWE.
But the point
There's
is,
Bella pieces.
faces and heels. Why were the faces equally as gung-ho about...
They weren't. That was the thing. That's the one thing that I saw was that Naomi and Natalya were actually very uncomfortable with the situation. Summer Rae, Eva Marie.
The face.
Summer Rae's not really a face.
She's
Rosa Mendez. They didn't care. They were in there just beating the crap out of them, out of her and her. And
Unless there's something John Cena's not telling us.
Oh.
but yeah, Naomi and Natalya were very. They were against the idea, and it's because they're being forced into it by Stephanie.
Okay, I will admit that maybe I'm wrong about this, but I still think it was dumb. And that might be why...
It wasn't
and
necessary.
That might be why I missed so many parts, because I just thought the whole thing was dumb.
Yeah.
They could have just had the last man standing match, and then the following segment, which I'm about to talk about.
The
And maybe that
storyline,
would've
the Bella Stephanie storyline it's, I guess it's all right because it keeps there's a diva storyline going on,
been- Yeah.
and that means there's two diva storylines going on at the same time,
Which is cool.
Which is
cool.
and it gets Stephanie on TV, which I'm always a fan of.
Yeah.
But no, it's completely unnecessary.
Yeah. But
Do something funnier.
they would actually continue another diva storyline after this match because Cameron would come out and attack Naomi. Because she didn't come out with the initial group of girls, and her and Naomi would fight, and really solidifying the fact that the Funkadactyls are no more.
Yeah,
They
no
are-
mas.
No mas
No mas
for the
Funkadactyls.
Funkadactyls. We would finish the night with the return of the highlight reel, the first time the highlight reel's ever been on main event.
Woo!
And what a guest
and
for main event.
Chris
Yeah.
Jericho, as if that's not cool enough already on main event, would bring out the Hitman Bret Hart.
Which I assumed was just going to be Sandow.
I thought it was going to be Sandow again, honestly.
I did.
But what
but
happened
it wasn't.
was better.
Starts talking to Bret Hart. His interview saying, it's great that you got Jericho and you got Bret Hart in Canada. It's a great night.
They were
Starts
still
asking,
patriotic.
starts asking him questions about his career. What are your greatest rivalries? And he goes, well, I had really great ones with my brother Owen. I had great ones with Stone Cold, but I think my greatest was with Shawn Michaels. And Shawn Michaels' music would hit. We'd see the cowboy hat, the camo vest, the jeans, the cowboy boots, and out came Damien Sandow, dressed as Shawn Michaels, doing one of the best Shawn Michaels impressions I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So good.
I just remember music hit. Holy fuck, Shawn Michaels. Wait, no, it's going to be Sandow. He comes out, you see his back, I see the blonde wig, I'm like, wait, no, that's Michaels. He turns around, see the beard.
Well, here's the thing. Shawn Michaels had a beard for a while
He did.
because he was doing the whole nature show. So
He did. But
it was
he had,
totally
he had the
plausible.
Sandow beard.
Yeah, it was
like,
obviously too dark to be Shawn Michaels, but he had the blonde wig and everything. Comes out, starts talking like Shawn Michaels, just taking certain things that Shawn Michaels would say, saying them almost perfect. I looked away a couple times and it sounded like Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, he...
So good. And
Keep up the good work, Sandow.
Yeah, you're. I mean, it's a shit gimmick, but you're doing great.
Dig
with it.
yourself out of this hole that
Yeah.
they buried you in. You can do it.
Do Austin next week.
We believe in
Oh god, if he shaves his head to be Austin, or just comes out really
Bald cap.
really stupid bald cap.
with his hair peeking out.
with his hair.
And a trucker cap.
Stone Cold Steve Sandow. Yeah, he'd get a little too overzealous, and he'd start saying that after tonight, no one's going to remember the Montreal screw job. They're going to be talking about the Ottawa screw job. Bret Hart didn't take too kindly to that. He punched him in the face like he did on Monday Night
Again.
Raw.
Yeah.
But this
Watch our
time,
Raw recap of...
this time, he followed up with the sharpshooter.
Which,
And Jericho almost playing the role of Earl Hebner.
Yeah.
That as soon as he gets him in, he's like, ring the bell, ring the bell.
The one thing that ruined it was Sandow did actually tap.
Well, no, I don't think that ruins it at all.
I mean, ruined it being a screw job.
Yeah.
Sandow did actually tap right away, but he was in the sharpshooter, so
By Bret Hart.
yeah.
Yeah, I would have tapped.
Okay.
Just out of respect.
Sandow's not as tough
As soon as he crossed my legs, I'd tap.
Yeah.
I'm like,
As soon as he picked my legs up, nope.
nope. Tapping out.
As soon as I got punched in the face.
Yeah, I would have tapped out the punch in the face. Moving on to NXT.
Next.
Another, last week was a little slow. This week was a little bit better, but still had its slow moments. We opened up with the number one contendership for the NXT Women's Championship. Summer Rae versus Bayley. Bayley is so over.
Bayley, you are my best friend.
Bayley, I love you.
Bayley is awesome. She's got the crowd doing the wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube men dance. She got the Bayley's gonna hug you chant.
Yeah.
I want Bayley to hug me.
I'll take a hug from Bayley.
Yeah.
I think she's adorable. But unfortunately, which we all thought she was going to win, Summer Rae would actually defeat Bayley.
Yeah.
I predicted that was going to happen because I think that, they're trying to almost do two feuds with Summer Rae at the same time.
Yeah.
Where she's involved with the Layla Fandango thing over here on the main roster, and her Charlotte BFFs thing over here
because later
on the NXT.
Later in the show, they do a backstage segment where she's sharing a mirror with Sasha, and she would tell Sasha that she's like, just because the BFFs broke up, doesn't mean we can't be friends, doesn't mean we can't hang out. And besides, I'm going to be NXT Women's Champion pretty soon, and you're going to want to hang out with me when I win that anyway.
Yeah.
Which, yeah. And, it was real catty. I don't know how that's going to go.
Yeah,
it's really weird.
Not the best angle, but whatever.
I'm looking forward to more from Bayley.
Yeah.
So we'll see where that goes.
Yeah, me too.
Up next, we had... They kept saying Sin Cara was trying to, revitalize his career. He was trying to make a name for himself in NXT and would take on a guy named Wesley Blake who was trained by Dory Funk.
Yeah. And the Funking Conservatory.
Yeah. Very basic match. Nothing stood out. It was, Blake got a little bit of offense. Sin Cara would win with a swanton in the end. So I guess that's a good place for Sin Cara right now because there's really not a main roster place for him.
Yeah, and with the whole style that he wrestles too, I think he's a better fit on NXT.
Yeah.
Especially maybe pair him off with an El Local or Callisto.
Have
him wrestle Tyler Breeze or Sami Zayn. I think those could be great matches.
Yeah, Sami Zayn would be really
I was
good.
thinking him and El Local and Callisto would be cool because Sin Cara's more of serious lucha.
Yeah.
As opposed to their comedy relief.
I don't think they're comedy relief,
Well,
though.
they're not super comedy relief, but they're more
Callisto
fan-friendly. They're more
energetic.
Hey, we're here to have fun.
Yeah.
Sin Cara is silent, mysterious.
We had Kid and Natalia talking in the back, and I don't like this storyline.
Yeah, we can just put the Natalia Kid part out of it. Just take that out and then just have Sami Zayn, have all of the wrestlers wrestle.
Yeah.
And get rid of Natalia.
Well, what doesn't make sense is they're setting up issues between these two. But I see on her Instagram and her Facebook and WWE.com, they're posting photos of her and Tyson Kidd.
Yeah.
They're all happy. It ruins the storyline.
Wrestlers,
Stop it.
Kayfabe straight.
Stop it.
This is real to us, man.
This is the reason that the Wyatt Bryan angle went so weird was because Brie Bella was posting pictures of her and Daniel Bryan together.
Yeah.
They can't be like, oh, well, we can't say Bryan's missing because he's clearly...
Yeah, he's with Brie Bella. So, stop it. Moving on, we had CJ Parker come out, and last week when he had his match, he said some really mean things towards Xavier Woods. Xavier Woods didn't take too kindly to it, and so he was trying to apologize to Xavier Woods. Xavier Woods didn't believe him and was starting to talk smack back, and Parker was
you can never trust those dirty hippies.
One of the best lines that Woods had was, I use logic, and logic tells me that logic is the only thing keeping me from ripping that rainbow-colored bird's nest out of the back of your head.
Yeah.
Which you can find Xavier Woods on Twitter now. Xavier Woods, PhD.
Because
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Xavier Woods. Very awesome. Which he actually used that. He said, I'm on my way to a PhD, so I use logic. And
It shows you that they pre-recorded XP.
Yeah, this was probably on a while ago.
Yeah.
But it would get to a point where Woods wasn't going to accept the peace offering that Parker was trying to give him, and Parker would kick him in the back of the head, and obviously that's going to lead towards a smaller storyline between the two. We had a really funny vaudevillains promo.
Yes.
They do the same black and white, old timey look, and both of them try and go out a door at the same time, and they like back up and try it again, and they end up getting through, and they do the proper talk, and we'll eventually be, we can eventually go for the tag team championships, and doing that like great stuff that we've seen from them.
Love these guys.
Yeah. Everything you guys are doing, keep it up.
Which is potentially setting them up for a tag team title run against the Ascension.
Yes.
I hope so.
Be interesting to see if they did that.
Good match. Prediction.
We had Bull Dempsey again, who debuted last week. Defeated Angelo Dawkins in a solid match. Dawkins got a little bit of offense, but obviously Dempsey came out looking strong.
Yeah.
Those exist.
Dempsey would follow his win with a little promo saying that he is the wrecking ball and he's not going to stop until he is NXT champion.
Wrecking Ball.
Wrecking ball.
The Wrecking Bull.
Did he say wrecking ball?
That's what I thought I heard.
He might have said wrecking. I heard wrecking ball.
It came in like a
Wrecking ball. Ball.
New entrance music.
Yeah.
Do it.
Which, by the way, shout out to Bull Dempsey via Facebook and Twitter by Eddie Kingston.
Yeah.
Saying, great to see my man Bull Dempsey on NXT. Hashtag last of a dying breed.
We go on to the main event. The main event was fucking phenomenal.
Oh yeah, you can't go wrong with
It
these
was
four.
so good. And I know what Adrian Neville, aka Pac, is capable of. I watched him as Pac. I know what he can do, but he surprises me every time.
Yeah.
He did a corkscrew moonsault off Sami Zayn's back.
That was the spot of match.
Doing his flips in the coming out of the tumbling off the top rope, doing the flips across the ring into a crossbody on Kid. It's just
This might exceed hashtag Spin Kicks and shit.
Yeah. Hashtag King of the Flippies.
Hashtag Ray de Voladores.
Yeah. But Justin Gabriel and Tyson Kidd would actually win this match. Natty would be out at ringside with Kidd. She'd start to get in the ring to make sure Kidd was okay. And there would be an issue where she's about to get off the ring. Zayn and Kidd hit the ropes and she gets knocked off. Both of them look really worried. They go out, they're like, what should we do? They both go out to check on her. Kidd takes advantage, rolls up Sami Zayn and gets the win. I think he actually left Natty out at ringside.
For a minute he did, yeah. He ran up to the bottom of the ramp and was celebrating.
And then he went over and checked on her? Okay. Yeah, it's...
Learn your place, woman.
Like, after she already got up, he was like, oh, you okay? Okay. I won, did you not see?
Yeah. One of the things that I thought was interesting, at one point during the match when Kidd was in, the fans were actually chanting, "We want Natty."
Yeah, I'd probably chant that too.
Yeah.
And after all, it is her dungeon.
You little bitch.
More details on that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit. But that was it for NXT.
Something else that happened midweek before we get into other show. Santino Marella. Did you guys hear about this?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, sad news. Sad news.
He announced his retirement from in-ring competition at a house show
In Toronto.
However, he did say he wants to still be a character in WWE.
I don't think that there's a way that there is no chance that there's not a spot for someone like Santino.
Yeah.
Santino, who is absolutely hilarious, still has a character that you could put in any situation.
Yeah.
On WWE TV and have. I would love to see him on more panels.
Yeah.
Going into pay-per-views or
Can we get
As
after
Emma's
shows.
manager.
Can we get GM Santino?
Oh, Santino Marella's the GM of Monday Night Raw? Yes, please. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
See, but hello.
Make him a referee, but like a really prominent
That'd be
referee
awesome.
gimmick.
Funny referee.
Yeah.
Speaking of referees, Drake Younger actually debuted as a referee on WWE.
Really?
Yeah.
When?
I believe it was at a house show.
Okay.
He's not doing the wrestling thing, but he has been doing.
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
been refereeing.
WWE, when they signed Drake Younger, decided that maybe that fits his build a little bit better. He's built very much like a lot of the WWE referees.
He's kind of plain.
Yeah. But hopefully we'll see a little bit more out of the Psycho Shooter.
Yeah. But to follow up on what you said, thank you for everything you did for us, Santino. One of my favorite spots.
Congrats, yeah.
He's always funny, and we hope to see him in something WWE related on a regular basis because.
I wish he would have won the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
And
really
This
cool.
year and last year.
And keep the Cobra. You might need it.
He can be your co-GM.
And Thomas Wolf, you have, unfortunately, some TNA news.
Yeah, TNA. Good news for you TNA fans. I watched TNA. Why did I do that?
He saved me from watching it.
I don't remember.
Cheers to that.
I don't remember too much, honestly.
You're a true friend.
TNA.
Took the bullet for us.
A lot of stuff happened. Kurt Angle made it like championship night or whatever the fuck he made it, and like
They always do that. They do like fight nights.
yeah.
Or something.
This was like championship showcase or something where most of the belts were defended. But I still don't recall much of the show. Highlight of the night though, Sonata versus Austin Aries. Phenomenal match.
I haven't had a chance to see Sonata. I don't know a lot of what he does. So
Yeah, I've only seen him this was my real first time seeing him.
A
But-
great Japanese lucha influenced style.
Yeah, trained by the Great Muta.
oh
Yeah.
well there you go.
Trained by the Great Muta. And he was wrestling Austin Aries.
Can't go wrong with Austin Aries can make anybody look good.
Yeah. So great match. Austin Aries, the new X Division champion. He did his promo after the match, saying how he always gets the belt around this time of the year for the option C, and I can't remember all the things he said, but it was really cool. But what he said was, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I know that the X Division is now relevant, and everyone's talking about it again. So, maybe he won't cash it in and just wants to be king of the X Division for this next year. I don't know.
Well, from what I've heard, he's already decided he's going to cash it in.
Yeah, again, I don't retain a lot of TNA, so I could be slightly off. But I think it would be cool if he didn't cash it in this year and tried to hold on to it till next year.
That'd be interesting.
So, that happened. There was a Knockouts title match that I don't remember much about. I think the champion retained, whoever that is these days.
Angelina Love.
Alexis Lurie.
And then there was not...
Yes.
There was not a TNA title match. Instead, there was a number one contender battle royal, where we got the return of Jeff Hardy. Not Willow, Jeff Hardy, because Kurt Angle wanted the true top competitor in the world, and he needed Jeff Hardy. So we saw Jeff Hardy return. I don't have any real problems.
Jeff Hardy's
with Jeff
fine,
Hardy.
but we don't need him.
Yeah,
Seriously.
I like Jeff Hardy.
We're not Jeff Hardy addicts.
He used to be one of my favorite wrestlers. He put on a good match. It was a good battle royal. Came down to Eric Young and Jeff Hardy. Eric Young, the guy who should be TNA champion,
Still.
lost it to Bobby Lashley, or no, TNA. He's just Lashley. Yeah.
Everyone's getting one name.
Yep.
Soulbird.
So, you know, I was really pulling for Eric Young
Black Mason Ryan.
here. Hardy whips Eric Young. No, he doesn't whip. Eric Young charges Hardy. Hardy low bridges the ropes. Hardy low bridges the ropes. Eric Young goes over, almost goes out. 1 foot touches, keeps himself on the apron, pulls
Nice
himself
legs.
up. Yeah.
Sexy.
Pulls himself up on the apron, about to get back in and win the match, I think, until Jeff Hardy hits the Chris Jericho triangle drop kick, knocking Eric Young out of the match. And becoming new number 1 contender, very anticlimactic, very Jeff Hardy versus Lashley's going to happen now. Very, I don't care. I'm done watching TNA. That was it.
Yeah, he texted me about that. So Jeff Hardy's the number 1 contender now. And I said, fuck life.
Yeah.
And I said I'm glad I didn't waste my time to watch TNA.
Yeah. So that's TNA.
Nothing against you personally, Jeff. But
No.
TNA.
Yeah.
Let's foster up some homegrown talent. Make
Yeah.
it important.
There's no denying where Jeff Hardy was grown. There's no debating that. He is a WWE grown talent.
Yeah.
Eric Young, Bobby Roode, James Storm,
And
Abyss.
yeah,
Run with the people that made the place.
yeah.
Jeff Jarrett.
He's not there no more.
Alright. My bad.
So yeah, that was TNA. That's my TNA.
AJ
review.
Styles.
And that is our midweek wrap-up. Let's send it back over to Kevin Hawk with the Indy question of the week.
Yeah, alright, so I decided to go on a tangent more about the in-ring portion of wrestling rather than influences, yada yada yada. And I said, hey guys, out of your opponents that you faced over your years in the ring, who hits the hardest?
Ooh.
You watch indie wrestling a lot, and you see a lot of the American guys influenced by the Japanese strong style, and you see a lot of hard hits and kicks
yeah.
and forearms and whatnot. So, I asked everybody, who hits the hardest? Right off the bat, Darren Corbin says either Sami Callihan or Scott Summers.
Yeah, Cyclops.
Not Cyclops. Pinky Sanchez told me Chris Dickinson. Billy Rock said Davey Richards kicks the hardest, but Brandon Tomaselli forearms the hardest.
A little bit of variety there.
Then we got the Spirit Dragon, Shenron. Tells me Jonathan Gresham and Eddie Kingston.
Jonathan Gresham, a.k.a. Huracan.
Yeah, if you know him from his Chikara days. Then Lindsay Dorado would tell me L.A. Park and Eddie Kingston. Followed up by the last guy who answered me, player Uno, also said Eddie Kingston.
Apparently, it hurts to face Eddie Kingston.
And Eddie Kingston said, "I do."
I wouldn't have been surprised if he would
If
have
it
answered
would've- that would have been the best answer ever.
But then on the opposite side of the spectrum, we had all three of these men, Evangelistico, Davey Vega, and Dasher Hatfield, all say Gary J, who some people know as Gary the Barn Owl.
And for those of you that keep up with Chikara and Dasher Hatfield, recently, within the last couple weeks, you've seen a picture of Dasher Hatfield's chest.
We're going to try and link it in the
After a
description.
match with Gary the Barn Owl.
They had,
And-
Submission Squad versus the Throwbacks, and 4 chops
Holy-
from Gary J.
Just looked like he'd been whipped.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it
It
looked
was
horrible.
nasty. I'm going to actually look it up right now
And
while they're talking.
For those of you who don't follow Chikara, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Quick shout out to Chikara next weekend, 19th and 20th, I believe.
Yes.
It shows in New York's finer arenas. Not really.
I thought you said New York. New York's as in plural.
Both New Yorks.
Both the New Yorks.
The New York State and the city.
I think that's just a good name for New York City, though. New York's. You're
Yeah.
in New York's.
Rather than say New York.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Campeonato State Parejas on the line.
Yes.
For the first time since Chikara's comeback, Pieces of Hate defend against 3.0 that weekend.
Yes.
I'm excited for that one. After they're going to face the Syrian Portal the first night. in
Oh
non-title
man, I'm
action.
so looking forward to Osirian Portal versus Pieces of Hate. The Osirian Portal are probably hands down my favorite Chikara wrestlers.
You've got Colony and Colony Extreme Force also wrestling separate nights in singles matches.
Yeah.
Silver Ant going against Missile Assault Ant, Worker Ant taking on Arc Rescue Ant.
Yes.
There's a 4 corners tag team match on one of the days.
Batiri, Hack and Slash, and
then-
2 teams that haven't been announced
They'll be
yet.
announced later. Actually, Remington back in the Chikara ring again. Both nights. First night, a rematch against the Kentucky gentleman Chuck Taylor
Which should be
from You Only Live Twice, and first time one-on-one meeting in a Chikara ring between the two of him versus Archibald Peck.
good. Oh, that should be good.
That should be entertaining.
It
At
should
least.
be a very entertaining match.
So check
Yeah.
it out if you're in the area. Definitely check it out
Yeah.
because we can't. We're over here on the wrong coast.
Yeah. Go to Chikara Pro on Facebook. Go to ChikaraPro.com. You can check out their roster page, their events page. They have an auction.
Yeah, they have an. Oh, I don't know if it's going on at the. Yeah, it's a couple more days, I believe. An auction for the Suicide Prevention Foundation in memory of Sweet and Sour Larry Sweeney.
Rest in peace.
I almost won the watercolor painting.
That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
You can also go to their merch store. They have a couple different.
That's
So,
4 chops.
We're looking at the Dasher Hatfield picture, and it's,
Can you see that?
you probably can't
You
see
can
that.
probably see the big.
I will
red mark.
definitely link to his Facebook this picture in the description below.
4 chops. And
It's
this man
terrible.
looks like he got a lawnmower rested on his chest.
Yeah. But yeah. Buy some Chikara merch. Support them. They're doing great stuff. It's good to see them back, and
Let them know if you want them in your town.
it's probably the best thing on the Indies right now.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't take away anything from Ring of Honor, from Impact Pro, AIW. But
Dragon
man,
Gate.
Chikara is so entertaining.
Chikara is awesome. So good.
And always family friendly, too. You
Yeah.
never have to worry about that.